Welcome to the Queer Thriving Podcast, where we draw inspiration from the past, cultivate thriving in the present, and dream boldly of a better future. Hi, I'm Kari. Any pronouns work for me? I'm glad you're here. We are now in a strange moment, a moment before everything could change, or very little may change. We just don't know. Trump will become president again on January 20th, 2025, and so many of us will be holding our breath. After hearing the results of the election, we looked at one another and said, what will we do now? It is a question that has been hounding me. I know that every step forward in queer rights has been hard-won, and that there is still much work to do, but this feels like a decisive step in the wrong direction. So what will we do now? What do we do when hatred and bigotry have the power? What do we do when who we are becomes the enemy? What do we do when what lies ahead seems so dark? The answer is thrive. Push back by being radically and powerfully present, incredibly ourselves, and fiercely alive. I know, it sounds like a lot, and it sounds like not enough. It sounds hard. As a person who has struggled with depression, to be honest, sometimes it feels impossible. But it's not. We'll do it together, one small step at a time. Jose Esteban Munoz, a queer theorist, talks about queerness as an ideality, a vision of a better future that we create in small, everyday acts. Every time we thrive, we're building that future. We're imagining something better. This podcast is an exercise in seeking that ideality, that vision of a brighter future. I'm on a journey of seeking that and discovering that for myself, and I'd like to invite you with me on that journey. My vision for this podcast has many parts. Sometimes we'll look at the past and learn what amazing activists have done that has had ripple effects that made a lasting impact. There is so much rich history out there to encourage us, empower us, and energize us for the future. We'll learn self-care techniques to better care for our whole selves and thrive. Now, thriving doesn't mean everything in your life is perfect. It means creating moments of joy, finding community, and refusing to let oppression define your worth or your future. It's about taking up space when the world wants to push you aside. We will begin to build an understanding of queer advocacy and familiarize ourselves with some important reflections from great queer activists and thinkers. Sometimes this will help us to see through the tools of oppression wielded against us, and sometimes it will give us traction on accessible ways to incorporate radical resistance into our lives. And hopefully, if you find this podcast, I would love to hear from you so that your voice can be heard here too. I want to hear your story, because being who you are is a political act of resistance. Silence will not stop injustice. We need your voices to rise up and tell your stories so we can come together and build a better future. This podcast is a journey of discovery of the past, learning to be radically present in whatever the now holds, and dreaming up a better future. I'm no expert, just a fellow traveler. So please join me on this journey. To set our feet on this path, I thought I'd start us off with the simple focus of caring for ourselves in our day-to-day needs. Poet and activist Audre Lorde once said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." So care for yourself. Be kind and good to yourself. Love yourself. Your existence is radical and powerful and beautiful. Take care. And until next time, keep resisting, keep dreaming, and keep thriving.